It actually has two applications attached to it. I just divided into one staff report to hopefully make it a little bit easier. The applicant is John Langford. The owners are Donald and Hal Pickle. And the first request is to rezone the property to residential and to also request approval of preliminary plat. And if you look at later here, and you should have a copy of that plat in your staff report, but kind of where this line is right here on the map, everything west of this is where they're proposing a residential development. And in this corner, right up here, the northeast corner, that's where the next request is, and the proposal to change that property from agriculture to public and have a conditional use for an RV park. On January 21st, the Planning Commission recommended denial of the subdivision and the residential aspect, single-family aspect of it. And on February 13th, the Planning Commission recommended denial of the conditional use in the RV park. You should have, like I said, you should have a copy of that plat if you have any questions. And of course, the applicants are here in front of you if you have any questions for that.
Mr. Langford, I'm assuming you want to speak to the issue?
If you just have a moment, Mr. Taylor, I appreciate it, Commission. I've been in front of you guys several times on this subdivision.
We're all pretty familiar.
So I don't think I have to take a bunch of time to let you know that we're just trying to put in some single-family homes. No big deal, not real big, not real small, just one of those things. We tried to do the things that you guys wanted, that you requested, the size of the lots, the water, how the sewers manage power, things like that. And I really feel like we met your guys' standards or requirements for what you're looking for. But what came to us a bit of a problem with a neighbor who doesn't agree with it, and that's respectful. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. In front of the Planning and Zoning Board, Mr. Kayla, you said it was time to pick winners and losers. I respect that. If you couldn't, I just have one question for you, and you could explain to me how the neighbor, Mr. Wheeler, is excluded from all the sacrifices and things that everyone else in this county and state of North Dakota has had to tolerate at this point. Everyone's had to deal with people moving in that they don't know. Everyone's had to deal with oil rigs and man camps and RV parks, and I guess the only question I have is how it is that one person gets to not have any of that be part of their life.
Questions for Mr. Lang? I don't let him have a quick answer to that now.
Right.
I think everything comes down to the fairness issue with this board. We're trying to do the best we can. Anybody else wish to speak? John, we have questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time.
Anybody else wish to speak to the issue? Mr. Wheeler, comments?
Mr. Chairman, William County Commissioners, I'm sorry you have to see my face again, but I really feel that I'm here fighting for the survival of our farm as we know it. This zone change application borders about 1.25 miles of land we own and half mile of land we rent from James and Eunice Shepard. These same neighbors now have an application with the city of Ray requesting approval for a development of 160 acres on the direct south side of our farm. Our land is only 1/4 mile wide between these parcels that want to develop. We own all 4 sides of that second parcel that want to develop. You can imagine if they get their families in there that they're talking about, there's kids living on both sides of my 1/4 mile of land. Are they going to go around? Are they going to cut across my land? Farm publications such as Dakota Farmer, Successful Farmer, and Farm Bureau for 40+ years. There's been a number of articles in these magazines about urban sprawl and enveloping farms. these new neighbors complain about operations done on the farm. Eventually, the farmer has to stop doing things that are part of the farm operation for years. There are no guarantees this will happen to our farm. A neighbor has other land available to develop. That does not have any nearby neighbors. One parcel is only 2.5 miles north of this parcel. It has the same R&T water line crossing it. It's on the same paved road. They also have land available surrounding their farmstead. That would not put any development any closer to their dwellings than they are to our dwellings in the land zone application. They have other choices. How do we pick up and move our farmstead? The farm my great-grandfather homesteaded in 1902. When they started this process several years ago, they stated they were going to have upscale houses on it. Now they have changed it to double wides and modulars. Will they come back and want single wides? At the planning and zoning meeting, after I spoke, Hal Hickle got up and said something to the effect of my facts not being correct. It's all on voice recorders at all the meetings. The commission has heard it before. If developers get the okay, then they don't follow through with the original agreement or want to make changes in the plan. Pictures, and you can pass, please pass it. They have a trailer house on the north side of their farmstead. They have said numerous times that they want to provide housing for families for the Ray community. I've never seen a school bus stop at that trailer house. These pictures show numerous vehicles parked there at different times in the last month. I've never seen children playing there.
Tom, I'm going to stop you there, because we're just going to deal with this issue on this side of the street. Okay? We don't want to get sidetracked.
Runoff water from my stock pond goes directly across their property that they want to develop. It's about the west end there. It appears to me on the plat I saw, they want to put a park right there. Well, the runoff from there, the cows always congregate where the water is, the best grass, and the water's there. So there'll be runoff with manure in it, running into their park, where it's like the park. At the last planning and zoning meeting, I brought up the idea of trading land. I have 320 acres of land connected directly to the city of Ray. A trade would make the Ray City water and sewage systems available to the development. After Hickles were denied at the planning and zoning meeting, Cheryl Trujillo, the planning and zoning board member, said she was in the same situation. They traded land with a commercial developer, and they were both better off in the end. Al Hickle has stated a number of times that this is the only land he owns with Equality Township. He has land 2.5 miles north, like I said before, located in Champion Township. Yes, this is the only land he owns in Equality Township, but our farmstead is the only farmstead we own in the entire world. This does not follow the Williams County Comprehensive Plan. If you have any questions, you can let me answer.
Questions for John? Thank you. Rick? Joe? Questions?
Okay. We had this, what, 2 years ago? And we denied it 2 years ago?
It was denied, and then it came back again. It was 2010, and then 2011, and it came back in 2012. And it basically died at the planning commission meeting until we heard it a couple months ago.
When it came back in 2012, it was different applicants. It's the same thing with different names in the application.
And there were, Dan said there was some legal issues.
So I'm assuming, right, that the letters from the city of Ray and the volunteer fire and crash from Ray still stand?
Yes. Even though they're dated November of 2011, I spoke with them, and they said they stand by the letter, and I think I've got emails in the file if you want to see them. Basically, they support their.
No, that's fine. I just want to make sure, because back then that was a huge issue with me. If you can't get the support of your local fire crash and ambulance and fire departments in your own city, I guess. And in talking with some of the volunteer fire officials over there, right? It's not that they wanted to make it clear they weren't opposed to just this development. They're opposed to more development in the area.
They're overtaxed.
Volunteer. So,
Okay, Mr. Hickman, are you ready to be called?
Yes. Here, I got some subversive material for you guys. What you consider it. I come here to secure the blessings of liberty. Yes, I've been here before. I come in June and July of 2011. Under the First Amendment, I come here for redress. Verbally. I was denied that redress. I was told at that time there needed to be rules. Yes, there are rules. The first rule is the one some of you are holding in your hand. If you don't follow that, all is lost in my country. I took an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, for perpetuate law and order and a 100% Americanism.
Mr. Hickman, do you have any comments that are directly related to the planning and zoning issue?
Yes, the fire department and the ambulance department. The county has approved other things in their district. It seems like the Hickles were singled out for this. The two members that come and presented the letters, one of them had a man camp on his wife's land. Equality Township, when the Hickles decided to do this, they turned over planning and zoning to the Williams County Commissioner. It had to be accepted. Tom Wheeler had no problem getting a zone change when Equality Township had the planning and zoning in their jurisdiction. And how he got his was he was illegally dumping material out of the city of Ray.
Again, we'll bring you back to this application.
Okay.
Mr. Wheeler. Speak directly to your application.
Okay, I look at it, you got, what we have here is the want of one over the need of the many. I read in the Williston Herald that there's a housing crisis. There are people that want houses around Ray. They've been wanting them for years, since 2011. I had people call me in 2009 when they found out the water line was going through. I have to bring this up because the North Dakota Supreme Court says that this has to be brought up. That there's commissioners here that don't go by the merit, they go by the emotion. One of them is you, Dan. You told me you wanted to see all the growth stay around Williston. Didn't you? Around Williston. That's what you said when I was there. Then you asked about rules. I have a commissioner here in my district. He has never come and talked to me about anything. The only one that's been in my farm is Mr. Aberly, and he said it was a good plan.
Back to the issue. We're not taking sidetracks. We're not going to get into personal issues. Back to the merits of your proposal.
It's single-family homes. This is what you told me in my 2 meetings that you wanted. I did what you wanted in them meetings in June and July when I was on the agenda. I was also on the agenda in December of 2011. I didn't get called on. You tried to adjourn the meeting without me calling on me. Another kangaroo court.
Okay. Mr. Hickman, would you sit down, please?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Be denied more of my free speech.
I find it interesting that people bring up what I want. When I said in the least influential position before, the chair is the least position on the board. I can't make a motion. I can't second a motion. I'm just here to referee. That's the job of the chairman of this board. The wants of the many over the needs of the few. I find interesting, I have an interesting comment.
The one
That
for
was
one.
the wants of the one, the wants of the many. That I was just.
Needed the many.
The needs of the many. So if the many all desired to have the money that's in Ray's checking account, then we just delete Ray's checking account and the name of the Constitution. No, my schooling in Constitution, Mr. Hickman, was that your freedom to do what you want ends where your neighbor's freedom to do what you want begins. Your freedom ends where your neighbor's begins. Commissioners, what are your wishes?
Then just, there are two items.
It's two different proposals. One's for the RV parking, one's for the, yes. We'll do just one pack.
Correct. I didn't want
So
to.
if you want us to deal with them, we need to deal with them individually.
Please.
Okay? Is there anything that you would like to add to this discussion?
Yes, I do.
Okay?
I'm Charlene Hickle, and I live in Minot. I would like to move back home. I would like a lot, so I can move home. As far as the fire department, ambulance, there's been another development right outside of Ray. Now that started after we tried to do this. And I believe Mr. Wheeler is the one that sold the land. And both, I've talked to people
What
in Ray that have
development
been
was that?
opposed to it.
Help me remember what development that was.
It's on the north side of Ray.
Jordan Heights and Sand Creek Estates.
But the fire and ambulance, they're gonna have to sit us down.
Yeah. That was the city of Ray.
Those are in the city.
Yeah.
None of the county.
Yeah, I don't remember any.
Okay, another issue, Mr. Wheeler told my ex-husband that we were putting in a man. This is not a man. This is single-family housing. And as far as the type of houses that we're going in, I guess that is something that, when this is all decided, what type of homes can be in there? Why would we want to put something, or try to put something in there that's not allowed? If it's not allowed, it can't be put in. If single-wide trailers aren't allowed, they can't be put in. Apart, wouldn't that be, I mean, we're talking a school that has been built onto, and they wanted money. I'm a alum. I've gotten a letter. I don't have any young children anymore. But we're trying to bring families and children into the community. Why would you build onto a school if you don't want to have people come into your community? Why do you need to have them? So where are these people supposed to go? Where are they supposed to live? Who's going to give up land? Who's going to try to do this? Who else wants to develop land? And as far as land, yeah, that's the only land my brother owns right there. He might own land in another township. That doesn't matter. This is the township he's wanting to develop in.
Thank you. Please.
My name is Kelly Hickle. I'm the oldest one of Donna Hickle's son. Al Hickle's my older brother. I worked for the oil companies for almost 40 years now. And this whole deal, Mr. Wheeler would like to swap some property with us. It would have worked out really well, except most of the people don't want a 50 or 75 or 100 lot. They're looking for acreage. He's been asked since, like you said, 2009, I was there when it started, if they would be willing to sell some property. Okay, he said, okay, well, I could do this. This all started after that. This was before everything got going in this oil boom out here and all this crazy stuff. There could have been 30 houses out there right now. People want 2, 3 acre lots. That's what they wanted to buy. That's what this is going to be. Mr. Wheeler loves his farmstead over here. like you said, it may be a quarter-mile wide between the two sides. The problem with the property you talked about on the opposite side, that's within the Renaissance zone in the city of Ray, 75-foot lots. The stuff on the other side, 7,500-foot lots. You want to buy multiple lots, that's fine, in the city of Ray. These people were asking for acreage. This was outside the Renaissance zone in the city of Ray. That is why we started this whole process. We had it plotted, surveyed, everything else. I don't have anything to do with it, other than the fact my family. This whole thing's been going on way too long. Thank you.
Questions? What do you wish? Last one. I'm trying to cut this off.
Pat Woodward, I do reside west of Minot. I'm over here 3-4 days a week. I stay at my mom's just north of Ray for 2-3 nights. My heart's on the family farm, I'm raised there. I've been this year, I'll be fully retired, spend a lot more time helping my own farm. I think I need to reiterate the importance of this, you know, what's that quarter-mile, because it's on the section line. Most two quarters are both a quarter-mile wide, not long. And I guess I touched on this motive. And then all of a sudden, they need to develop land on both sides of that, and they've got a lot of property on the other side of the highway, all around the Hickle farmstead. I just, beyond belief that they cannot find land on that side of the road that encroaches on their farmstead rather than we farmstead. There's never been any contact before this development was started or during from the Wheeler or from the Hickles to the Wheeler explaining what they want to do. There's been no offer of any kind, comments. They talk about their emotional health and so on, but there's been no consideration as far as the Wheeler family on emotions. My mother is in assisted living here in Rosemead. She's 86 years old, married when she was 17, raised on her, spent her whole adult life on that farm. Her closest neighbor was their grandmother and mother. I think my mom was raised on the south side of Ray. She knew very few people on the north side. And her grandmother took her in like a daughter. She was just great. She was a wonderful woman. I don't know how she would feel if she knew the problems that are being created now between these two families. But I just would ask that the commission would really look at that, and if they move to the other side of the highway, I think that you look at it. You said yourself 2 years ago you'd rather see industry or community built from within out, not out in. The development they talk about is right on the edge of Ray. The Comm sold to a developer, and that land is right on the city limits, the border to the limits of Ray. So it's right there. They have all the city sewer that can all be accommodated. The water, everything is set up there for the city. Thank you.
Good.
Well, I would agree with one thing that Kelly Nichols said. This has gone on too long. I thought when it was denied the first time that was going to be the end of it, but it seems like it never dies. I'm going to make a motion that we deny based on planning and zoning recommendations.
Is there a second? Okay. Further discussion? Jim, call the roll, please.
Montgomery. Yes.
Haverly.
Yes.
Ramberg.
Yes.
Hanson. Yes. Kayla.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you, everybody. Item,
That's for both items, both
what was the determination?
Well, the only thing that was spoken to was the residential.
Okay. And the RV, let's go on to the RV. What do you wish on that?
I make the same motion.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Manbury, Montgomery,
Yes.
Kayla.